Why your EMR vendor may not be your best choice for your go-live support. Obviously, your EMR vendors will offer, or at least most, offer go-live support and comprehensive, in many cases, go-live support. However, your EMR vendor support can be, first of all, very cost prohibitive. Often EMR vendor rates are 2 times that of your E2E vendors. And they build these prices into packages, and if you're not careful, you'll be pulled into paying much higher rates than you would for E2E vendors. EMR vendor staffing is not specifically tailored to individual needs of the client. This is something we spoke about earlier in a couple of slides ago. These are much of the staffing, just like the training, is generalized. So you won't have these things that are tailored specific for your needs. They're going to bring in a team, and they're going to spread them out among your units and hope for the best. The use of EMR vendor support does not allow for the, as well, also doesn't allow for the vetting, as we spoke about earlier, about verifying the credentials. If you use EMR vendor support, you're not going to have the vetting access to the vetting process and the approval of those tasked with supporting your end users, and that is key. EMR vendors can't guarantee the clinical knowledge or aptitude of its trainers. That goes to what we just spoke on. A support resource that has no experience or knowledge of the environment and the workflow is going to be much less effective in support, regardless of the knowledge of the software itself. They may have vast knowledge of the way the software is built and the basic use of the software and the intended use. However, if they can't function within that workflow, then they are not going to be effective in their support. So you're really looking at function versus application. Obviously, you want people to have application knowledge, but they have to understand how that application functions within that workflow. And last, the EMR vendors often assign their least experienced trainers to rural health clientele. This is very important because you're going to likely, if you work with the EMR vendor specifically for the rural health clientele, they're going to take their least used and their most green support personnel and put them on the rural areas, specifically the smaller clientele. And this can present a major issue during your go-live process. So you want to make sure that you have experience, and you can't always get the experience and knowledge, workflow knowledge, and an understanding of the environment, and you can't guarantee that when you work with EMR vendors.
Ms. D,